Do you know that your front door is currently acting as a filter that is letting poverty into your living room while your blessings are being held captive outside? Most people think their home is just a building, a place to sleep, eat, and store their possessions. They are dead wrong. According to the ancient wisdom of the Talmud and the hidden codes of the Kabbalah, your home is a mikdash me'at, a miniature sanctuary. It is a physical manifestation of your internal spiritual state. Every single object you allow across your threshold is either a conductor for the energy of Parnasa, which is divine sustenance, or it is a heavy anchor that is dragging your family into generational lack. I am going to reveal 5 specific objects to you today that you likely have in your house right now. You might even be proud of some of them, but these objects are actively screaming a message into the spiritual atmosphere of your life, telling the Creator that you are not ready for wealth, that you do not respect your vessel, and that you are comfortable with brokenness. If you want to break the cycle of barely making it, and finally step into the overflow that has been promised to our people for 3,000 years, you must perform a radical surgery on your environment. I have spent over 40 years studying the sacred mechanics of the universe. My grandfather was a sage in Jerusalem who understood that the physical world is nothing more than a shadow of the spiritual world. He taught me that you cannot build $1 million destiny in a 10-cent environment. He would look at a man's home and tell him exactly why his business was failing, why his health was deteriorating, and why his children were struggling. It wasn't magic, it was pattern recognition, and today I am giving that pattern to you. Before we dive into the first object, you need to understand the law of the vessel. Imagine the Creator wanting to pour the oil of prosperity into your life. He looks down at your home. If your home is filled with the 5 objects I am about to list, he sees a vessel that is cracked, contaminated, and cluttered. In the spiritual realm, a damaged vessel cannot hold blessing. It just leaks out into the dirt. You are currently working 80 hours a week, trying to hustle and grind, but you are pouring water into a bucket with 5 massive holes in the bottom. That is not being ambitious. That is being retarded. You are wasting your life force because you refuse to clean your vessel. The first object, broken or damaged items. This is the most common mistake, and it is the most spiritually expensive. I am talking about that cracked mirror in your hallway, the chipped plate you still use because it belonged to your mother, the chair with the wobbly leg you've learned to live with, and the electronics that don't work but are still sitting in a drawer. You think you are being frugal or sentimental. The ancient rabbis would tell you that you are being dumb. You are making a covenant with dysfunction. In Jewish law, there is a commandment called Bal Tashchit. It prohibits the senseless destruction of property. But there is a flip side to this principle. Keeping something that is destroyed and refuse to fix or remove it is a violation of the sanctity of your home. A broken object is a physical manifestation of a broken promise. Every time you look at that cracked mirror or use that chipped cup, your subconscious mind receives a signal. I accept less than the best. I am comfortable with things that don't work properly. I am a person who settles for fragments. The Talmud teaches us that blessing only rests on that which is whole. When you keep broken items in your sanctuary, you are literally telling the forces of abundance to stay away because your house is a place of shevera, shattering. I remember a man who came to my grandfather crying that his business had plateaued for 7 years. My grandfather walked into the man's house and found a beautiful grandfather clock in the corner that hadn't ticked in a decade. He told the man, "Your time has stopped because you have allowed a dead object to occupy space in your living world." The man threw the clock out that afternoon. Within a month, he landed a contract that doubled his annual revenue. If you are holding on to broken things just in case, you are operating from a spirit of fear. You are telling God that you don't trust Him to provide a new one, so you must cling to the shards of the old one. That is a poverty mindset, and it will keep you poor forever. Walk through your home today. If it is cracked, chipped, or malfunctioning, fix it within 24 hours or get it out of your sanctuary. Do not let the energy of brokenness sleep in the same room as your dreams. The second object, clutter and unused possessions. This is the object that is suffocating your parnasa. I am talking about the clothes in your closet that don't fit, the gadgets you bought with greed and never used, the stacks of old newspapers, and the boxes in the garage that haven't been opened since you moved. You call it storage. The Kabbalah calls it stagnant water. Sustenance is like a river. It must flow. If it stops moving, it becomes a swamp. It breeds mosquitoes, disease, and lack. When you hoard items that you do not use, you are creating a dam in your financial river. You are telling the universe that your cup is full, and therefore nothing new can be poured in. Think about the miracle of the manna in the desert. God gave the Israelites exactly what they needed for one day. When the greedy and fearful ones tried to hoard the manna for the next day, what happened? It rotted. It became filled with worms. This is a literal spiritual law. What you hoard out of fear will eventually rot the rest of your blessings. Many of you are waiting for a new opportunity, a new job, or a new investment. But where would it go? Your life is so packed with the junk of your past that there is no making, no space for your future. You are being dumb by paying rent or a mortgage for square footage that is being occupied by dead weight. Every object you own requires a microdose of your attention. If you have 5,000 items in your home that you don't use, your energy is split 5,000 ways. You are too exhausted to see the wealth that is right in front of you. You think your home is a refuge, but for many of you, your living room has become a museum of failure. You have invited the enemy to sit on your sofa and eat at your table, and you don't even realize it because you are too busy being distracted by the noise of the world. In the Jewish tradition, we understand that the eyes are the gateways to the soul. What you see repeatedly, you normalize. And what you normalize, you manifest. This brings us to the third category of objects that are currently poisoning your family's financial future. The third object, negative imagery and struggle art. I want you to look at the walls of your home right now. What do you see? Do you have paintings of desolate landscapes, images of stormy skies, barren trees, or lonely figures walking down empty roads? Maybe you bought these because they were sophisticated or artistic. The sages would tell you that you are being suicidal with your prosperity. In the Torah, we are commanded to choose life. This doesn't just mean physical survival. It means choosing life in every vibration you allow into your space. In the mystical texts of the Zohar, there is a profound teaching on Hirahor, the meditation of the heart. Everything you look at is a seed being planted in your subconscious. If you surround yourself with images of struggle, solitude, or coldness, you are telling your soul that the world is a harsh, empty place. And your soul, which is a powerful engine of creation, will faithfully go out and create a reality that matches your decor. I have seen people who have hustle and grind posters on their walls, images of people sweating, looking exhausted, or suffering for their success. You think this is motivational. It is actually retarded. You are glorifying the struggle rather than the blessing. You are programming your mind to believe that money only comes through pain and depletion. In the Jewish wealth code, we don't worship the grind. We worship the source. We want parnasa that comes with simcha, with joy. We want wealth that is a sweet aroma, not a bitter burden. Replace your struggle art with images of harvest, flowing water, and light. Your home should look like the life you want to live, not the one you are trying to escape. If you are living in a one-bedroom apartment but you want to own a vineyard, your home should feel like the seed of that vineyard. It should be clean, it should be orderly, and it should be filled with symbols of expansion. This is the exact shift I talk about in the Destiny Reconstruction. Most of you are trying to fix your bank account while leaving your spiritual blueprint in total chaos. You're trying to put a new roof on a house that has a rotten foundation. The Destiny Reconstruction is the only guide that teaches you how to perform a surgical cleanse of your life's architecture. It teaches you the alphabet of abundance and how to remove the curses of the eyes that you've accumulated from years of looking at the wrong things. The link is in the description. If you are tired of being a spectator of your own downfall, get the book and start the reconstruction today. The fourth object, reminders of old debt and failure. This is a subtle one, but it is a vampire for your wealth. I am talking about keeping old, overdue notices, legal papers from a failed business venture, or even lucky charms from a time when you were struggling. Some of you have a habit of keeping your bills in plain sight on the refrigerator or on the kitchen counter as a way to remind yourself to pay them. This is stupid. By keeping your lack on display, you are performing a ritual of permanent poverty. You are making the ayin hara, the evil eye, the center of your home. The Talmud teaches that blessing only rests on that which is hidden from the eye. When you display your debt, you are telling the universe that lack is your identity. You are giving the accusers in the spiritual realm a constant reason to keep the gates of blessing closed. In my grandfather's house, you would never see a bill. You would never see a reminder of a struggle. When a bill arrived, it was dealt with and then hidden in a folder, in a drawer. The surface of the home was for blessing. The kitchen was for nourishment. The table was for Torah. If you keep your failure documents in your living space, you are telling God that you are still living in the past. And if you are living in the past, you cannot occupy the future He has prepared for you. Go through your drawers and your counters today. Take any document that represents debt, conflict, or loss and put it in a sealed box or a designated office space. Do not let the energy of the bill collector sit where you sleep or where you pray. You must treat your home like a sacred treasury. You wouldn't put trash in a safe, so stop putting financial trash in your miniature sanctuary. The fifth object, artificial or dead nature. This is the object that blocks the breath of your home. I am talking about plastic plants, dried flowers, and taxidermy. You think they look nice and they are easy to maintain. The rabbis would tell you that you are surrounding yourself with death and wondering why your finances aren't growing. In Kabbalah, we teach that the divine energy flows through living systems. A real plant is a vessel for life. It breathes, it grows, it responds to light. It is a physical anchor for the energy of Yesod, the foundation of growth. When you replace a living plant with a plastic one, you are creating a spiritual lie. You are telling the universe that you prefer fake growth over real responsibility. A plastic plant does not require water, it does not require care, and it never changes. This is exactly how many of your bank accounts look: static, fake, and dead. If you cannot even handle the responsibility of keeping a $10 plant alive, why should the King of the universe trust you with a $10 million business? And as for dried flowers, flowers that were once alive but are now preserved corpses, these are the ultimate anchors of generational poverty. They represent beauty that has died. They represent a peak that is over. Keeping dried flowers in your home is like keeping the ghost of a blessing. It occupies the space where a new blessing should be blooming. Your home should be a place of vitality. It should be a place of ruach, of breath, Get rid of the plastic. Get rid of the dead petals. Buy one real living plant, and as you water it, realize that you are practicing the stewardship required for wealth. If you cannot maintain life in your home, you will never sustain wealth in your life. The reason you are currently drowning in a sea of average is because you have built a temple to average things. You think you can compartmentalize your life, that you can be a lion in the boardroom while living like a scavenger in your own living room. You are being delusional. The spiritual world does not recognize compartments. It only recognizes frequencies. If your home frequency is tuned to these 5 objects of decay, then every dollar you make will feel like it's being earned in a cursed land. Let us speak plainly about the ruach aniyut, the spirit of poverty. This is not just a lack of money. It is a psychological and spiritual parasite that feeds on the 5 objects I have just listed. When you keep broken things, clutter, negative images, debt reminders, and dead nature in your home, you are providing a nesting ground for this spirit. It settles into the corners of your ceiling. It hides behind your stacks of unused boxes. It whispers to you from the cracked glass of your mirror. It tells you that this is all you deserve. It tells you that the economy is too hard. It tells you that rich people are just lucky. This is the dumb narrative that keeps 99% of people trapped in a cycle of generational struggle. But the 1%, the families who understand the codes I reveal in the Destiny Reconstruction, know that your home must be a fortress of favor. You must treat your square footage like it is the most valuable real estate on the planet, because it is. It is the womb where your future is being formed. Now, many of you will say, Rabbi, I don't have the money to replace everything right now. This is where you are being greedy with your excuses. You don't need money to remove trash. You don't need a loan to throw away a dead plant or hide a bill in a drawer. You don't need a capital investment to take down a painting of a lonely gray road. This is about willpower, not wealth. If you don't have the discipline to edit your environment, you will never have the discipline to manage a portfolio. This brings me to the surgical cleanse protocol. This is a practice we teach to those who are truly ready to reconstruct their destiny. The cleanse protocol, the recognition of the anchor. Go to each room in your house, stand in the center, close your eyes for 30 seconds, and then open them. The first thing that makes you feel heavy or annoyed is your anchor. It is the object that is holding your mazal, luck, back. Do not negotiate with it. Do not say, but it was a gift. If it is dragging you down, it is an enemy of your house. Remove it. The law of the threshold. Once you have removed these 5 objects, you must seal your home. In our tradition, we use the mezuzah, but even before the scroll, there is the energy of intention. Declare out loud, this house is a vessel for Parnassa. Only that which is whole, living, and blessed is permitted to stay. The space of potential. Leave at least one corner of your home completely empty. No furniture, no art, no dust. Just makom, space. This tells the Creator that you have a room for expansion. It is a physical invitation for new blessings to land. If you are listening to this and you feel a sense of urgency, that is your neshama, soul, recognizing that the time for your destiny reconstruction has arrived. You have spent years, maybe decades, following the advice of people who are just as stuck as you are. You have listened to gurus who talk about the grind, but know nothing of the grace. This is why I have put everything, every secret, every protocol, every ancient code into the ebook, The Destiny Reconstruction. Inside, I don't just tell you what to remove, I tell you what to inscribe. I teach you the meditation of the showbread to ensure your table never runs dry. I give you the 7-day financial fast to reset your spiritual frequency. If you are serious about becoming the person that wealth seeks out, then you will stop being dumb and click the link in the description. The price of the book is a seed. If you are too greedy to plant a seed in your own mind, Do not complain when your garden is full of weeds. I want to tell you about a disciple of mine, a woman who lived in a house so cluttered and filled with broken nature that she hadn't had a single business idea in 3 years. She was surviving on government assistance and hoping for a miracle. I told her, God doesn't give miracles to messy vessels. We spent one weekend purging her home. We threw out the plastic flowers, we fixed the leaking sink, we burned the old debt letters, and we cleared the boxes from her hallway. On Monday morning, for the first time in 3 years, she woke up with clarity. She saw a gap in the local market for a specific service. She started her business with $100. Today, she employs 12 people and owns her own building. The miracle was always there, but it couldn't breathe because she was suffocating it with the 5 objects of poverty. Do not let your home be the reason your children struggle. Do not let your sentimentalism be the reason your bank account is empty. You are a child of the King, and you should live in a palace, even if that palace is currently a small apartment. Clean it, order it, sanctify it. Here is your final warning. The economy in 2026 is going to reward the orderly and punish the chaotic. If your home is a place of shavira, brokenness, you will be the first to feel the squeeze. But if your home is a mikdash me'at, a sanctuary of light and life, you will find that even in a famine, your carts will overflow with abundance. Type, I am ready for overflow in the comments if you are going home today to purge these 5 objects. I am watching for the names of those who take action. Go to the description right now. Get the Destiny Reconstruction. Stop being a spectator and start being the architect. The link is waiting. The King is waiting. Shalom.